The Super Mario Bros. Franchise has evolved a lot over the years to become what it is today. Do you have any idea how the plumber and his universe changed throughout all these decades, both in the games and in other media like cartoons and movies? Donkey Kong, 1981. Believe it or not, the first game where Mario was the main character didn't even have Mario in the title, because it was a Donkey Kong game, another franchise from the amazing Nintendo. In the first Donkey Kong from 1981, the gorilla is the villain, while the main character is Mario, who at the time was a carpenter called Jumpman. The game was very different from the future Mario and Donkey Kong games, since it's about getting Jumpman to the top of a construction site while dodging barrels thrown by Donkey Kong in order to rescue a damsel in distress named Pauline. Mario Bros. 1983. The Mario franchise truly begins with Mario Bros., where things start to look like what we know, but are still pretty different. In this game, Mario is already a plumber and is joined by his brother Luigi. The two of them are in the sewer system of New York City and need to defeat the monsters that come out of the pipes. Anyone who knows what the next games become can already connect the dots here. Mario and Luigi are still on Earth, but those sewer pipes were most likely what took them to the Mushroom Kingdom in the next games, something the 2023 animated movie adapted really well. Pretty impressive, right? But we're only getting started because we're going to talk about everything you didn't know about the evolution of Super Mario Bros. And for you who made it this far, we have a special invitation. Click the join button down below and become part of our exclusive group of subscribers. We have 3 plans for you to choose from. You can become a Wave Fund member and use our badges on your profile and special emojis in the channel's video comments. Or you can become a Wave Plus member and get early access to our videos and priority replies in the comments. But if you want access to our exclusive members-only videos and polls, you can become a Wave Max member. Starting at $2.99, you can become the newest member of Cinewave. Click now and get even closer to us. Saturday Supercade, 1983 to 1984. Just like Mario's first appearance in games wasn't in a title with his name on it, his first appearance in the world of animation also wasn't in a show that was just his. It was in Saturday Supercade, a series about the video games of the time, with episodes made up of multiple story segments based on different games. One of those segments was about Donkey Kong, where Mario showed up as the owner of a circus who had to go after Donkey Kong, a gorilla from that circus who escaped. Mario was accompanied by Pauline, who here was a circus animal trainer. Super Mario Bros. 1985. This is the game that changed the franchise forever, locking in the gameplay style that became so popular and instantly recognizable. In Super Mario Bros., the plumber finally goes on an adventure in the Mushroom Kingdom to save Princess Peach from the hands of King Koopa, Bowser. Pretty much all the classic Super Mario elements started here: Peach, Bowser, the Koopas, the power-ups, etc. Super Mario Bros. 1986. 1 year later, the 1985 game got a Japanese animated film adaptation of its story, making this the first official animation fully focused on Mario. The story of this short film starts with Mario playing a video game, until Peach appears on his TV and asks for help because she's being chased by Bowser. After that, Mario and Luigi manage to travel to the Mushroom Kingdom, setting off on an adventure to save the princess, just like in the game. But there's one really sad thing. Mario is in love with Peach in this movie, only to find out at the end that she's in love with a prince. Poor guy. Super Mario Bros. 3, 1988. Other games were released after that, like Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels in 1986 and Super Mario Bros. 2 in 1988. The funny part is that The Lost Levels is actually the original Super Mario Bros. 2 in Japan, but its name was changed and passed on to the 1988 game because the original was considered way too difficult. After those, still in 1988, we got Super Mario Bros. 3, another fantastic game that improved, by a lot, the mechanics from the first Super Mario Bros. So much so that it's considered one of the best 2D Mario games ever. The Super Mario Bros. Super Show, 1989. By that point, the Mario franchise had already become a worldwide hit, so it was more than time for him to get an animated series. That's how the Super Mario Bros. Super Show debuted in 1989, with lots of episodes showing Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad having fun and taking on Bowser's forces. And as if that wasn't already amazing for the time, the show also had live-action segments that were basically sitcom episodes about Mario and Luigi dealing with everyday problems. The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3, 1990. The Plumbers Show quickly got a follow-up, which focused on adapting the Super Mario Bros. 3 game, which only proves just how incredible that game really was. The series kept following the Mario Crew's adventures, but unfortunately ditched the live-action segments that brought so much charm to the previous show. And if you also love watching your favorite characters evolve, and you want more videos like this on the channel, drop a comment below. Hashtag Super Mario, so we know. Super Mario World, 1990. If Super Mario Bros. 3 had already been pretty impressive, Super Mario World took 2D games to another level and became an absolute classic. The innovations introduced in this game make it one of the best titles in the series, and also one of the most important video games of all time. Originally released for the Super Nintendo, Super Mario World sends our favorite plumber on an adventure through Dinosaur Land to, once again, save Peach and defeat Bowser. This is where we meet Yoshi for the first time, as well as the Cape power-up. Super Mario World, 1991. The next animation featuring the mustached plumber was actually an adaptation of the game released for the Super Nintendo, adapting the idea of Mario exploring Dinosaur Land and meeting Yoshi while still having to fight against the forces of evil. This series is considered a continuation of the Super Mario Bros. Super Show and the Super Mario Bros. 3 cartoon, serving as the final part of that animation trilogy. Super Mario Kart, 1992. Even though it isn't part of the main Mario series, the first Super Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo is extremely important to the franchise, since it launched Mario's racing spin-off series, where you can put him and other characters from his universe into kart races across the incredible tracks inspired by the games. Since then, many more Mario Kart games have been released. The most recent one is Super Mario Kart World from 2025, but there have been several others that we won't mention here because there are simply too many, and plenty of other racing games in the same genre that probably wouldn't exist without it. It's no wonder Mario Kart was referenced in the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Super Mario Bros. 1993. Of course, sooner or later we had to talk about the Mario movie, but not the one made by Illumination. We're talking about the 1993 live-action film, which is pretty bizarre. While the Super Mario games are more fantasy-focused, this live-action movie went in the direction of science fiction. In it, the Mushroom Kingdom is replaced by a somewhat technological and dark world that exists in another dimension, where dinosaurs survived and evolved until they became humanoid beings. Here we see some classic characters from the franchise like Daisy, Yoshi, and Bowser, but they're so different that if it weren't for their names, it would be impossible to recognize them. It's no surprise that the movie was heavily criticized. Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, 1995. The success of Super Mario World led to a very different sequel. In Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, the main character isn't Mario, because here he's just a baby. The real protagonists are the Yoshis, who must protect baby Mario while trying to rescue baby Luigi from baby Bowser. Yes, he was already kidnapping people even back then. Super Mario 64, 1996. If there's one game that completely changed the franchise, it's called Super Mario 64. Released for the Nintendo 64, it took Mario out of the 2D platforming genre and placed him into an incredible 3D world that was revolutionary at the time. Super Mario Sunshine, 2002. This was one of the most different Mario games ever made. Also being in 3D, it introduced a very unique mechanic, since the plumber uses a robotic backpack that can spray water and must use it to clean the island where the story takes place, as well as do other things like hovering through the air. On top of that, this is the game where Bowser Jr., the son of Mario's greatest enemy, was introduced, and now he's set to be the main villain in Super Mario Galaxy, the movie. New Super Mario Bros. 2006. After Mario 64, the franchise focused heavily on fully 3D games, just like most of the gaming industry. But New Super Mario Bros., released in 2006, came to change that by bringing the classic 2D platforming style back, while updating it with 3D graphics and new mechanics. We also got completely new elements, like the Mega Mushroom and Mini Mushroom power-ups, the latter even appearing in the Illumination Super Mario movies. You know what would be awesome? Subscribing right now and getting all our videos straight on YouTube. Super Mario Galaxy 2007. Obviously, it would be impossible to simply ignore the game responsible for taking Mario to the stars, especially when we remember that it's a classic among the Heroes 3D games and a favorite for many fans. Here, Mario needs to travel across several galaxies to stop Bowser, while dealing with several amazing mechanics involving gravity. And the game introduced very important characters to the Super Mario universe, such as Princess Rosalina and the Lumas. Mario Galaxy received a sequel in 2010, 2010 that continued exploring the mechanics and characters from the first game. Super Mario 3D World, 2013. With Mario back on Earth, 3D World was the next step for the franchise, packed with super creative levels and featuring a really fun multiplayer system where you and your friends can play as Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad. We also can't forget that this is where we were introduced to the Bell power-up, which turns Mario into a cat, another power-up that appeared in the Illumination movies. Super Mario Odyssey, 2017. After Super Mario 3D World, we got some incredible spin-offs like Super Mario Maker, where players can create their own levels, but the next main game was Super Mario Odyssey, which once again introduced a unique mechanic. This time, our beloved plumber has a magical hat that he can use to possess any enemy. Bowser's Fury, 2021. Several years after Super Mario 3D World had been released, Nintendo decided to create a new game that was added to 3D World as a bonus, Bowser's Fury. In it, Bowser transforms into a gigantic black monster and puts everyone in danger, leaving it up to the player to stop him from destroying everything. Interestingly, this transformation seems to have been adapted for Super Mario Galaxy the movie, where it's used by Bowser Jr. The Super Mario Bros. Movie, 2023. Now we finally arrive at the masterpiece created by Illumination in partnership with Nintendo, the Super Mario Bros. Movie. The animated film did an incredible job adapting the Mario universe and tying everything together in a very fun story, mixing elements from many different games at the same time. In it, we see the classic story of Mario and Luigi traveling from the pipes of New York City to the Mushroom Kingdom. Since Luigi ended up falling into Bowser's Kingdom, Mario had to set off on a mission with Peach and Toad to rescue him. Super Mario Wonder, 2023. In the same year the Illumination movie was released, we were also gifted with the game Super Mario Wonder, which returned to the 2D style, but without leaving Mario in his comfort zone, becoming yet another game full of brand new mechanics. Seriously, you can even turn into an elephant in this game. Super Mario Galaxy, the movie, 2026. And now that we've gone through all these productions, it's time for the franchise to outdo itself with Super Mario Galaxy, the movie. As a sequel to the 2023 film, this movie will use the story of Super Mario Galaxy as the foundation for a brand new adventure that has everything it needs to be amazing. Characters like Rosalina, Bowser Jr., and Yoshi will be introduced, but that's only the tip of the iceberg of what's going to happen. We've prepared 2 videos you're going to love. Pick one and keep having fun here with Teen Videos.